because of a lot of problems in people's lives, okay? I don't know how that guy does it. You know what? Let's just start this video. Hey guys, what's up and welcome back to my channel. My name is Austin Betha. I'm really glad to have you here. I'm so sorry I'm a mess tonight, and it's thanks to Ebuka. Okay, so on today's episode of the Bbnaija reunion, yeah, it was all about love and relationships, both past and present. Okay, now Ebuka decided to start out with the present, and of course that would be Mercy and Ike. So there was a very extensive talk about their relationship and just all of the struggles they've had to deal with, you know, during the show and after the show. So I'm just going to start out with telling you guys everything that we discussed about Mercy and Ike before we go on to the reason why I'm like this, because obviously Mercy and Ike's case did not put me in this way, but Diane and Elozonam'S case made me weak, okay? Ebuka just broke the remaining bones that I had left. Alright, so without wasting any more time, let's just get straight into it, okay? First things first, yeah, Ebuka played us a clip of Mercy and Ike during the show, you know, all their lovey-dovey moments and all of that stuff, yeah? He now asked Ike, when did you know that Mercy was the one for you? And he mentioned that it was in the second week he knew that Mercy was the one for him because he had seen how much she had his back, you know, how she was always in his business, how she was always defending him and all of that. Ebuka now also asked Mercy, when did you know that Ike was the one for you? Considering the fact that you had always said, oh, you're going into the game, you want to just play the game and just, you know, do it on your own without anybody and all of that stuff. And she was like, yeah, that was her intention, that she did not come to the house to fall in love and anything like that, but then it happened, and she also knew that it was him in the second or third week. But bear in mind, they also chipped in the fact that they had met themselves outside of the show. They met during the auditions and all of that. In fact, they even exchanged addresses. Ike was supposed to visit Mercy, but she called to cancel. I don't know why. Nobody should ask me things that I do not know. Ebuka now went on to ask them why they always fought during the show. They were always breaking up and making up, you know, it was almost a routine for them. And then Mercy was like, the reason they fought a lot was because they had different opinions on different matters, you know. Ike was bringing the whole Yankee sense, and she, being someone who was born and brought up here in Nigeria, she knew that they had a lot of differences, and that was always very evident in their conversations. And she also went on to say that she didn't understand why people always felt like every time she and Ike had a fight, they were doing it to entertain people and all of that. In her words, she said, Ike drives me crazy every single time. And Ebuka was like, oh, present tense, he drives you crazy. That means he's still driving you crazy. So clearly their relationship is more like cat and rat. Like, nobody can put mouth in their fights. When they are fighting, just remove your mouth, because by the time they will settle, they will use it to settle. Ike also raised a very serious concern. You know, he was like, Mercy can tease for Africa. Mercy was teasing him, like she almost teased him to death. And Ebuka was like, Mercy, why did you always do that? Why were you always teasing Ike and all of that? And she was like, Ebuka, I'm a professional teaser. Okay, if I tease you and you go hard, you are on your own, because nothing for you. She also went on to say that it is important that they learn how to talk whatever it is that's inside their trouser. You know, you talk it and let it stay there, regardless of how much you're being teased. Ebuka asked them if they were dating, you know, if it was safe for him to say that they were dating, and both of them said yes. Ebuka asked them, okay, why are the both of you not following yourselves on social media? Let me just say this here. I noticed at some point that both of them were not following one another, but I just did not know why. I mean, today they'll be following themselves, tomorrow they're no more following each other. And in my mind, I'm like, okay, maybe they have reasons why they're doing that. It wasn't any of my business, so I did not think to mention it. But since our uncle Ebuka decided to ask them that question in the open, it was very important and very imperative that I paid a lot of attention, which I did. Now, when Ebuka asked that question, Mercy said, Ike keeps unfollowing and blocking me. Ebuka now asked, why does he keep doing that? And her response was, he is very childish. Small blow like this, my guy go don't go. Piam! And in my head, I'm like, what do you mean by small blow? Because there's nothing small about you, Mercy. Any blow that comes from your side is a lot of blow. So if the guy felt like he could not deal with your blow, the best thing for him was to just piam, like you said in your words, okay? But on a more serious note, Ike went on to express how he felt about the whole thing. In his words, he said, if you irritate me, I'll unfollow you regardless of what people think. Mercy does things with her friends to upset me. She refuses to unfollow someone that I do not like. So if she says she wants a break, in my head, I just assume that it's over between us. So the next thing for me to do is either to block her or unfollow her, because he mentioned that a lot of times Mercy would send him text or Mercy would just call and say, oh look, we need a break. In fact, there was this particular text that he talked about, although they did not go into details of the text and everything, but then Mercy gave us a hint. You know, she was like, in her text, she was like, hey stop, I think I need a break. And I'm like, okay, if you send that kind of text to anybody, it's just okay for them to feel like something is up, and the best thing for them to do at the time would be for them to be in charge and do what they think is right. So in Ike's defense, it was okay for him to block her and unfollow her, seeing that she was always requesting for breaks. And you know, according to him, yeah, every single time she asked for this break, it just means that she wants to do something on social media, she wants to do something that was going to upset him. So since he did not want to be a part of it, he just felt like, you know what, let me just be away from it all completely. But all in all, regardless of all these their fights and everything, Mercy mentioned that Ike is different from every other guy that she has met. In her words, Ike is different from the other guys I have met, and he's a very deep person. You know, so I'm sure that those are the kind of things that attracted her to him in the first place, okay? Ebuka now turned to Diane. Of course, we know how close Diane and Mercy are, and being that Mercy is in a relationship with Ike, by extension, Ike became her friend, and of course, she also refers to him as a very close friend and all of that. So I feel like three of them are actually very close. Now, Ebuka now asked Diane what she felt about Ike and Mercy's relationship, and she was like, look, I like the both of them together, they're really cute together, but I feel like someone needs to do the growing up. Ebuka now said, what do you mean by someone needs to do the growing up? And she's like, okay, you know what, I don't want to sound like I'm taking sides and everything, but I feel like Ike needs to understand Mercy more. Look, for her, it's okay for girls to do shakara. In her words, it's our thing. You know, shakara is in our blood, we cannot help it. But she also feels like by now, Ike should know that Mercy has bomb in her head, and that every single time that bomb explodes, the best thing for him to do is just to let her be at that moment. You know, when she calms down, then they can go in and talk about it and everything, instead of constantly fighting themselves and all of that stuff. And she's like, again, every single time they fight, now on top of my head they pour, because first of all, Mercy will call me and say, Ike did this, Ike did that. Ike would also call her and say, oh, Mercy did this, Mercy did that. Before you know it, give them 2 seconds, they don't, they laugh inside room, they play, they pursue one another, and it's almost like they cannot do without one another. So to her, they're very cool. She just feels like all they need to do is get to understand themselves more, and every other thing will definitely fall in place. It was then at this point that we moved over to the Dialo ship, because the Mercy ship, we understand to some extent where they are and you know what is happening in their lives. But a lot of people have questions about Diane and Elozonam. I, for one, I have a lot of questions for Diane and Elozonam. I needed to understand what the problem was and just why the ship that we felt like was already sailing decided to sink on its own. Of course, the first thing that Ebuka did was to play a clip of Diane and Elozonam during the show, you know, them hugging, cuddling, laughing. Guys, there were a lot of laughter between the both of them. There were a lot of hugging between the both of them, you know, at the closet, in the kitchen, in the garden. Any small thing they don't hug, any small thing they don't hug. I'm like, okay, you guys should not just hug your destiny out in Big Brother's house. Remain some for after the show, you know. So after he played the clip and everything, he was like, what happened? Like, what is going on between the both of you? And of course, he started out with Elozonam. You know, Elozonam was like, first of all, I'm a very socially awkward person. I mean, he did not even know that up until he got to the house. It was really difficult for him to blend in. It was really difficult for him to make friends. But Diane made him very comfortable. In his words, these were the things he said. He said Diane actually made him feel very comfortable, seeing that he was socially awkward. He also mentioned that Diane had told him about Toyo and Nelson on different occasions, and it was at that point they had some level of understanding. It was at that point they had some level of connection between the both of them. Ebuka now turned to Diane and was like, Diane, did you have feelings for Elozonam during the show? And she was like, yes, that she had some sort of feeling for Elozonam during the show, but she just wasn't sure of his motive, you know, considering the fact that he came into the house much later. She wasn't really sure if he was into her or if he had an ulterior motive and all of that stuff. And she was like, he knows I liked him during the show, so if he's claiming that he did not notice it, then he must be blind. And I'm like, Auntie, calm down now. The guy has not even denied that you liked him. He did not say, oh, you did not like him, or oh, you liked him small. So why are you taking it P? Why are you talking about him being blind and all of that stuff? In fact, Elozonam had a very surprised look on his face, like, like, how did we get here, you know? Now Ebuka was like, okay, since the both of you admitted to having feelings for one another, what happened? Because again, a lot of us felt like after the show something was going to happen, because during the show they both had a conversation where they talked about, you know, taking things slow and waiting till they get outside so that they can know if it's going to work or not. So the both of you came out of the show and it almost seems like you guys never even knew one another and stuff like that. What is going on? And in her words, yeah, because I'm just going to quote what she said. She said Elozonam is not forgiving. He holds things to to heart. She wishes that he can be like Ike, who constantly chooses Mercy regardless of whatever it is that's going on. ELOZONAM constantly allows people mess with his head, and I'm like, okay, why are we comparing ELOZONAM and Ike together? Like, they are two different people, two different personalities. They are nothing alike. So if you want to be with ELOZONAM, be with ELOZONAM. If you want an Ike, then I really don't know what you're going to do about it, because there's no other person that can be exactly like Ike. You get what I'm saying, right? Now ELOZONAM was like, first of all, it is very ironic for me to hear these things coming out of her mouth. In his words, she always made me feel like the next option. She had hierarchy. There was Diane, there was Mercy, there was Ike, there was Nelson, there was this other guy outside of the house, which I'm not going to mention his name, and I just did not understand that. She made us know that she has someone outside. Ike chooses Mercy and Mercy chooses Ike, but Diane doesn't do that. These were ELOZONAM'S words. These things are not my words, okay? I actually wrote out what they said here because, again, I don't want to mess up the things that they said and just in the fashion that they had said it, okay? Now, when we got to this point where they had pointed out that there was somebody outside of the house, I just knew who it was. Of course, you guys remember that conversation she had with Elo. You guys remember that during the show, she was always talking about this guy that she had a crush on, but that the guy did not even know that she had a crush on him. It was that bad. And, you know, during that period, we all got to realize who he was. Now, I'm going to get to the point where it was a question of, oh, should we mention the guy's name on air or not? Because ELOZONAM really wanted to mention the guy's name, and she was like, look, if you mention his name, I will drag you. I will drag you. And it sounds like, yeah, let's drag. Like, if not drag, make we drag. You know, let's mention the guy's name and just talk about this whole thing once and for all. But clearly, Diane did not want that name mentioned on the show at all. In fact, she felt like Ebuka probably did not know who it was and everything, and she wanted it to remain that way. Because she was like, look, the person was not a part of the show, so there's no need bringing his name up here and all of that stuff. Now, Ebuka turned to Ike. I was like, Ike, what's up? You know Diane, she's your friend. Like, what are you going to say about her relationship with ELOZONAM? And Ike was like, first of all, I really like the both of them together. I like how they were in the house, and although I'm not really big on shipping people, I really wanted this their own ship to sail and all of that stuff. But Diane is very complicated. Like, one minute she's telling you this, the next minute she switches it up on you, but not in a bad way. According to him, it's not in a bad way. You know, he was just trying to explain that, yeah, I like the both of them, but you know, they had their issues. And you know, whatever the case was, it was Diane and ELOZONAM'S duty to decide what they wanted to do and all of that. And let me just tell you guys here, while Diane and ELOZONAM were still dragging, oh, don't mention his name, mention his name, if you mention it, I'll drag you, let's drag, let's do this. Ebuka was like, guys, wait, how much of a problem was Mawuli really? And everybody was like, yeah, this guy even knows the guy's name. Of course the guy is Mawuli. I'm going to try and insert a picture of the very cute Ghanaian actor here. He's an actor, he's a fitness enthusiast as well. The guy is hot, and you know, Diane was tripping for the guy low-key. But I'm sure she was really embarrassed that, you know, they had to mention his name, because she walked out of the studio. She was like, and she walked out of the studio like, how can you people expose me like this? You guys know how it is when you have a crush on somebody and you don't want that person to even know about it. You know, you crush on this person, you think about this person, you talk about this person, you stalk the person both on Instagram, on Twitter, everywhere, but you just don't want that person to know. Now somebody, maybe your friend, just decided to jabber and mention the person's name, and the person now hears. Because again, there's a chance that Mawuli is actually watching this reunion and he will now know that, okay, Diane was dying for me. Like, shit. I don't know, it's really complicated, okay? The girl walked out of the studio, she felt really bad, but I mean, it's the reunion, it's Ebuka, table breaker, you know, mountain mover. The guy, you know, wala too much. You guys know that Ebuka is not one to just keep quiet. If you know something, he's going to say it, bam, you know, whether good or bad, and that's exactly what happened today. Let me just tell you, Diane and ELOZONAM are still going to drag, because they did not finish the dragging today. Because from the preview I watched on Instagram, there was a part where Diane was like, abeg, keep quiet, you know, she was telling ELOZONAM to keep quiet. They were really shouting on top of their voices, so I'm guessing that that's going to happen on tomorrow's episode, because this is their fight. It's a rapper, he wears shoe. Alright, it almost seems like Diane doesn't even want to have anything to do with ELOZONAM. She doesn't even want to talk about it at all. Because from that clip that was also posted on Instagram, and she was like, abeg, Ebuka, we did not work out, let's move on, move to the next question, abeg. And I'm like, Diane blood dey hot. So guys, I cannot really wait for tomorrow's episode. I'm sure that it's going to be packed with a lot of shouting, a lot of bass-bows and all of that stuff. And that's basically everything that happened on today's episode. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section. Before I end this video, I need to tell you, I know I have made a post about it. I'm sure some people are going to miss it, so let me say it here, okay? The Big Brother NAIJA season 5 show would start airing on the 19th of July. Guys, I'm really excited, okay? This announcement was made on DSTV's Instagram account. I'm going to insert a picture of the post here so you guys can see for yourself. I'm really excited. Let me know if you're as excited as I am in the comment section, okay? Thank you so much for watching this video, and I also want to say a very big thank you to you guys for making me feel very beautiful in my last video, okay? You guys had a lot of beautiful things to say about me. You know better. You are very beautiful. You are naturally beautiful. You are this, you are that. I know I'm beautiful though. That one is not even a topic that is up for discussion or anything, but you guys took it up to times 100. You guys made me feel like better. You find past later they see for miracle. They look myself for me and say, now wow, these people that they see another thing. Then they see another thing. Okay, but that's not the point of this video. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please don't forget to give me a very big thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't subscribed, and I'll definitely see you guys tomorrow. Alright, bye.